spoopy anime because it is October. Let's talk about some spoopy anime.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for segueing so nicely. Good job, Jay. Here's a round of applause for you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
That was so nice. That was the nicest we've ever been on the podcast.
Yeah, specifically to me.
The niceness ends here.
The niceness ends here. This week we're going to talk about some spoopy anime. We're just going to give a couple recommendations and talk about some spooky anime that we like and think you should check out.
Heck yeah.
John, because you're our guest, we're going to put you on the spot again here.
Oh my god.
What is one spooky anime that you think more people should watch?
A spooky anime I think more people should watch is a late 2000s anime called Ghost Hunt.
Ooh.
I think it was Studio JC staff. But it's pretty different. It's a very like ghost hunters or paranormal investigators type thing, where a girl damages equipment for the Shibuya paranormal investigators, and to work off her debt, she has to become their assistant, and they go on many spooky adventures with ghosts, dolls, and other ghosts.
It's actually rated pretty good on Mal too. 7.77. That's
Oh.
Is this the show with Zach Baggins?
Yeah.
What?
He's so moe, dude. Like kawaii AF.
Who is Zach Baggins?
The guy
with the
from
nose?
Ghost Hunters. You know, the guy, he's got a face.
Yeah.
That's literally every
buff
person.
Arms, the buffest arms.
He's the angry guy on Ghost Hunters, like the show Ghost Hunters.
The ghosts
Ghost
don't want to
Hunters?
mess with him. You know, Ghost Hunters?
Does he
Is that what
punch
it's actually
ghosts?
He punches ghosts.
I'm guessing he hunts
Oh, that
ghosts.
sounds cool. That sounds cool.
He threatens to punch ghosts anyway.
It's like, hey, spooky boys, you here? I'm going to punch you. And they're like, ooh. That's why nothing happens in most episodes.
Is he the guy who goes, "Hey demons, it's your boy"? Is that
No,
guy?
Oh, yeah.
that's
Isn't
Shane
that the
Madej.
Oh, I don't
That's
know.
Shane Madej of BuzzFeed Unsolved fames.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Yeah. Listen, I like this stuff because I like spooky things.
You're deep in
But
this.
I don't watch enough spooky anime. It really, I might check this one out, to be honest
might
with you,
too.
John.
It's really cool. I believe it was a shoujo manga.
Yeah, it says demographics shoujo.
Yeah,
shoujo spooky.
Cole is like immediately interested by the shoujo idea.
Let me pull this up on Annie list here.
The novel and manga it's based off, it's a different name. It's called like Akuryo Taisen or something like that. But then they called it Ghost Hunt for the anime. So
Of course, naturally,
Mhm.
as you do.
they're like, oh, that's too much Japanese. We're just gonna put English words.
Now, Jonathan,
Ooh.
quick question actually, segueing into that a little bit. Do you speak Japanese? I don't know how it works in your what you do.
I do, yes. I speak somewhat of Japanese. I don't know if that is correct English. I obviously don't speak English, but
It's okay, none of us do.
Yeah.
yeah, that was Japanese was my minor in university, and I'm currently taking classes again because I want to major in Japanese.
Oh, okay. That's kind of cool. I would imagine it would come in handy doing what you do.
Yes, a common misconception. Wait, did we mention?
don't think we did. I didn't
should
know
we
for
maybe
sure if you
mention
wanted to,
what
yeah.
you do? Because I don't know if you're comfortable sharing what it is that you do. You don't have to maybe. You're a translator of
Not a translator,
Media?
I'm a subtitle.
a subtitler of media.
We'll just leave
Chinese
it there.
cartoons.
Yeah, we won't say where or anything.
Oh.
Just
Yeah,
So-
yeah, I work with subtitler or translators, I should say.
So that involves like putting the actual subtitles into the show, or like
Yeah, formatting, proofreading, timing. A lot of the times.
I've always thought it must be very painstaking to like go into each frame and like physically like etch in the little letters into each piece of film.
We're given like a chisel and a hammer. We have to be like tink tink tink, and like, oh, we got one letter in.
I always thought they gave you guys like acrylic paint and a little paintbrush. Paint them on.
You know, you're not wrong.
Yeah. But talking more spooky anime, I'm going to talk about what's on my mind here. I have been watching.
No. We already did that, Mike.
I know, but I saved it. Cole, I saved it.
Oh, right. You did set this up. I'm sorry. My bad. My bad.
Yeah.
My
yeah.
bad.
look at all the brain
Yes.
fog going on in this podcast.
It's
Please,
not even me
Michael.
at the brain fog. I have been watching a little anime from 2006 known as When They Cry, or it's also known as Higurashi When They Cry. I don't know what the actual name is. Is it back there? Is it behind Jonathan? He's pointing behind him.
Yeah, that's all of the Japanese box sets, the Americans releases.
Oh, I had a feeling you were going to be into this one.
You like, didn't you like beg your bosses to get the new one?
Yes, sorry, that's, I dropped my cell phone. Yeah, I went on a tirade, one of my few ones where I'm just like, I have to get this show, you have to let me work on it. Please. And then I was kind of disappointed. So.
That sounds fitting for the sequel. I've heard people were pretty disappointed in it.
It was very hype, and then it turned into...
Well, I think you got to give them props for like trying to do something
new,
wildly different, you know?
Yeah. And also, like, when this show was first announced and the build-up to it, everyone thought it was a remake, right? Like, it wasn't revealed to be a sequel until after.
Yeah,
Spoilers.
it was a big old troll.
Spoilers, Jay.
It kind of doesn't go very
spoilers?
well, right? Like, it's not a good move to trick your audience into, I don't know, I can't see how that would go well. And it didn't. But yeah, I'm watching the original one, which is quite nice. It is very good. I am watching it a mixture of dubbed and subbed though, which I don't know. The dub's kind of iffy, but it's just like sometimes I just don't want to look. So it's just kind of, you know.
I'm pretty sure in the dub that Rika is voiced by Palmon from Digimon. I have not looked that up, but I swear to God, it's the same actress.
It could be. The voice actresses are like a bunch of people I've never heard of, or like I don't recognize any of the voices really. So that actually would fit. The timing is probably right. I just watched, for people who've watched this show, there's a scene involving a fingernail clipping or fingernail removing. It was one of the harder things to watch I've seen in anime. So yeah, if you're feeling spooky vibes and you want to watch something that's really going to make you super uncomfortable and enjoy it, this is actually probably one of the best horror anime that I think I've watched ever, thinking so far. I'm not all the way through it yet, and so I don't really know what's going on. It's kind of like a mystery. Like, they don't really make it clear what's happening. So it'll be like kind of episodic, like 4 episodes will be this one storyline, and then it'll end and it'll go to another storyline, and it won't really explain what's going on. And I'm assuming at the end it probably will. But yeah, I definitely, if you want to watch them in spooky, I recommend this one. Does anyone else have any spooky anime recommends?
Jasif, perhaps you bring something to us from your home planet?
I do bring something to the table. So full disclosure, I don't really watch as much horror anime as a lot of other people here. So my recommendations are going to be either so bad it's good horror anime, or horror anime that are genuinely just comedies, but they have like horror vibes to them.
I think I know where this is going.
Yeah. So the first one I'm going to recommend is, I'll save that 1 second, is King's Game, which came out in 2018.
Okay. Not what I thought he'd say.
I think I know which one you're going to talk about, and it'll be the second one. But this one is, it's genuinely like really bad. It's essentially about this game where these kids in high school get like commands to do on their phone, and if they don't fulfill the command, they just die brutally.
Oh.
And like the way it plays out, it doesn't feel like it can be taken seriously at all. So like it feels like satire, but it definitely wasn't intended to be satire. Like, it's supposed to be taken seriously, but it absolutely cannot be.
So the 2.1 rating on Crunchyroll seems fitting, considering.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's so low.
Wow. What is it out of?
I think that's
out of 10.
Oh, is that out of 10?
Out of 10?
Yeah.
2 point. Oh my God, Jay.
But on Amazon, the complete Blu-ray set is 4.3.
Oh.
So with that what you will.
Keep in mind, when I'm saying watch this in an ironic sense, because it is so funny because of how bad it tries to make you scared. It really doesn't, but because of how bad it is, it's so funny.
Okay.
So like just something to, have a couple drinks with the boys and watch a terrible show.
Take a shot every time the show is bad.
Yeah.
And rest in peace.
I'm reading the reviews on my anime list for it. By the way, it's rated 5 on Mal, so do with that what you will. 5 out of 10. Yeah.
Please read a review.
Down the anime rabbit hole I go. The King's Game is the worst anime I have ever seen. I am not kidding. The King's Game is the most terrible piece of poop I have ever had to sit through. I am honestly shocked at the director's ability to blow all expectations of god-awful anime and that are I don't even continue. Yikes.
Yeah, it's very bad, but for that reason, it is very funny. And because it is actually a horror series, it fits the horror genre. But yeah, if you are kind of uncomfortable with the horror thing, but you still want to get in the Halloween mood, definitely give this a shot.
If you're a little baby, who can't handle horror things.
Oh, Skelly.
You little baby.
There's too much
I miss my home planet. Ooh.
All right, Cole. Well, if that's the case, then why don't you tell me what you like for horror anime?
Please say Pupa.
Have you heard of this show called Pupa? No, I don't even know what you're talking about.
I've heard of Pupa.
Okay, I'm gonna come at you guys with something out of left field, and just let me talk through it. Okay. Something ever since I've thought about horror animes, something that nobody ever talks about that I think should be talked about as a horror anime, kind of, is something, one of my favorite animes of all time, Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's it's not advertised as a horror anime, but it's got like a lot of those Lovecraftian like horror elements, like what are the angels? Like why are they trying to attack us? Like it's horror in the sense that it's like this cosmic, like these cosmic entities are like trying to kill humanity, and humanity is just like struggling to fight back against these beings. Yes, you can look into it more. Well, actually, the angels are blah blah blah. No. I just mean from a purely, I'm watching it for the first time. These are the things that I'm taking away from it.
Taking it at face value.
Yeah, it's very not horror-y, but like when you start to think about what it implies, it is terrifying.
Yeah, it's like cosmic horror, like the insignificance of humanity and human power.
Yeah, and like even if you start looking into the lore a bit more, like what are humans then ultimately? Like yeah, I don't want to get too deep into it.
Oh yeah, I almost dropped some spoilers. I was like, well, humanity is...
There's a lot of spoilers you could drop for that show. You know what though, Cole? That's actually a sneaky good rec though, because it definitely has that like sense of dread, and then also like that emotional sense of dread, from within too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the psychological horror as well. Like there's that episode where like Shinji just like
shuts down.
He disappears into that like abyss, and then he just like comes back, and it's like, oh, what does that like he just disappeared, and then all of a sudden he just reappeared. Is that the same Shinji? Is that the same Shinji, or is it a different Shinji? Was it a Shinji that was just created out of nothing? It's freaky stuff, man.
It's the ravens of a madman.
I think the scariest episode of Evangelion is when Asuka dives into the magma and has to inflate her suit, and I was taken back to DeviantArt 2008 and did not have a good time. I was just like, oh my god.
Yeah. No, it's that's something I always think about though, in terms of like, it's action heavy for sure, and it's definitely shonen to the extreme, but like when you really start to think about the implications of it, I'd say it's horror adjacent. John, do you have another one? Please save me. Help me. Get me.
From what?
Do you have another horror anime to talk about?
Oh, gosh. Man, I watch a lot. One I watched that I was surprised I actually liked it. Did you ever see Blood Sea or hear of it?
I've heard of it.
I've heard of Blood Sea, yeah.
I wasn't prepared because, it's part of the Blood, like, I guess, metaverse from, like, Blood the Last Vampire, Blood Plus. And then they're like, oh, here's a Blood that's written by Clamp and character designs by Clamp. And I'm like, oh, you mean the Cardcaptor Sakura, the Holic, the, Tsubasa Chronicle? Oh, sure, I'll watch that. And it is so ultra violent for, like, no reason. Like, I don't want to spoil, like, some of the stuff, but, like, there's, like, a part where, like, I'll say, like, 20 random people get put inside of a giant blender, and that's all I'm going to say. And I was just like, what?
Oh, my goodness.
Clamp? You wrote this?
Do you need to have seen the other Blood stuff to enjoy this?
Honestly, all of them, to me, you could watch them on their own and they stand up. Like, I mean, if you watch it as, like, a big, like, metaverse or kind of thing, like, I think it might fit in, but they're all so different from one another that I don't think you would have to.
Okay.
You just need to know there's a vampire, and she's the last one. Or something. I don't know.
Ooh. What a little tease there.
That's like Jay. That's like Jay. He's
Is
the
he
last of his people.
alien?
Can we stop with this already?
I'm so sorry you can't
drop
Why
this
are you
terrible
concerned I'm
narrative.
going to blow your cover?
The FBI is listening in. They're like,
I landed in Roswell in
FBI's like, this is a funny
1947.
joke.
If anyone's got anything to do with aliens, it's Mike. And Mike, what's another horror anime?
Jay, would you like to come to my work for a little meet and greet?
What, with the aliens you work with?
I don't work with any aliens. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, then what would I be meeting and greeting?
Shh.
My next horror anime I'm going to talk about is going to be... Oh, I'm tossed up here. There's two I kind of want to quickly talk about. I'm just going to do both because it's my podcast. I can do whatever we want.
It's our podcast, comrade.
Yeah.
It's all of our podcasts, including Jonathan's now.
Oh, okay. I was going to say it's not my podcast, but never mind. I take it
Today
back.
it is.
First one I'm going to quickly talk about is one of my personal favorites, Devilman Crybaby. That definitely
good
fits the spooky vibe, and I feel like you could watch this one and then you're going to enjoy it. It's knowing like it's Halloween time for sure. You really can't talk too much about it without spoiling stuff, but yeah, definitely be prepared for like ultra violence, which is fitting for Halloween.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, listen, it's got the word devil in it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
There's
very.
nothing more spooky than devil and crybabies.
It's true.
And I guess like
Speaking-
Evangelion, be prepared to be kind of bummed after you finished it for a bit.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Definitely, it's definitely one where you finish it. It's kind of like when we were watching Edge Runners, and when you're done it, you just like stare at a wall for a little while. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just kind of staring off into space.
Yeah. Oh, speaking, John, have you seen Edge Runners?
I have not yet.
Okay.
I'm super hyped for it though.
Okay.
Looks great.
Sorry for
Never mind. There was
Never mind.
there
It was
an
all right.
important- There was a very important question I had to ask you.
John,
Yeah.
join my side and think it's all right.
Was it the Rebecca versus Lucy argument?
It was
Okay.
Rebecca versus Lucy.
We were having this argument at our Discord about which one's the better character, better girl. And yeah, it was a tie, so we really don't have an answer at this point. The answer is yes at this point.
Yeah.
The other one I want to talk about is we have John here, who I know is into magical girls and horror. So I think I should mention one of my favorite of the magical girl anime that also ties into horror, Madoka Magica.
Ooh.
I think that's another good choice for watching in the spooky season because it's
Yeah.
it's kind of like Evangelion. It has like that crazy, like obscure, like bizarro imagery that definitely like makes you feel super uncomfortable. But it definitely leans more into the horror than it does. Like there's the witch's laughter and stuff like that is super creepy. There's obviously like really dark things that happen that definitely tie into the spooky vibe. And it's short too. Both these are really short. I think Devilman's 10 episodes. This is 12. They're easy to watch over the Halloween season.
Yep.
Any other thoughts on those?
No, I mean you pretty well said everything that I would say about Madoka Magica. Yeah. The just the design of like what's it called when
Witches.
they go hunt witches domain. I don't know what it's
Witches.
called.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Just how it's like
Surreal.
cutouts and like it's just really creepy and weird. Yeah. Very unsettling, like you said.
Yeah, I haven't seen Madoka Magica, so I can't really comment on it.
Oh no, Jay.
Jay'll hate it. Jay'll hate it. You
Jay
know
will
I
why?
don't know.
Yeah.
Because it's good.
Have you ever seen like Bakemonogatari or?
Oh yeah, no, I've seen all of Monogatari.
Yeah, so Monogatari director is the same guy who did Madoka, and when
What?
you watch it, it's Shaft and the same director. So when you watch it, you'll be like,
Mm.
"Oh, I know who
That's-
did this."
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
That's why I love Madoka Magica so much too.
Oh, that makes so much sense now that you say that.
It's like Shaft.
Shaft
It's
just being Shaft.
yeah,
It's
Yeah.
just Shaft,
yeah.
man.
They give you the shaft, and that's all you need.
Yeah. It was like Call of the Night, except it wasn't Shaft. It was just that director. And
Yeah.
hey, that was all right with me. Jay,
Yes,
we talked about Devil Crybaby.
yes.
And speaking of
Devil
crybabies,
Man Crybaby.
Devilman Crybaby. Speaking of crybabies, Jay,
Look, I'm just here to help you out. If you're not comfortable with horror, but you still want to get in the Halloween mood, I've got one more show for you. And I think it's a show that a lot of people have seen at this point, but I think it's worth mentioning anyway. That is Ghost Stories, and specifically the dub.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah, you don't watch-
I knew
you
this
don't-
was coming.
You don't
Yeah.
watch that one sub.
Gross.
Nobody does.
No,
It's
no.
too serious.
Yeah.
This is
No,
the
I
one
want the
show.
silly. I want the fun,
Mm-hmm.
goofy times.
Yeah, absolutely. And like, it's still a surprise, and it becomes more and more of a surprise as time goes on that this show and this dub even like got out there and is, I think like it's even on Crunchyroll now. Like, it's just insane that some of the things that are said are available on like the biggest anime streaming service.
Yeah. Sometimes you see the clips from it and you're like, what are you saying?
Yeah.
What?
2005 was a different time, I guess.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Which is
very
Yeah.
weird to say. Have you, so the, I guess the script adapter, the director for the English dub was Stephen Foster. One of my favorite anime of all time is called Steel Angel Kurumi, which he also adapted the dub for that.
Oh.
And I found this out later, and it made a lot of sense because they had lines where, are you allowed to curse on this podcast?
Cole can bleep it.
I'll bleep it out. Don't worry
Okay.
about it.
I just wanted to make sure real quick. So in Japanese, the character says like, "One-chan no baka," which is like, "Big sister, you're an idiot." The English dub by Stephen Foster and ADV is like, "Don't with me, you stupid pink." I'm not even joking. It's that literal, and it's just like, isn't that character like 12? Why is she talking like that? but going back and looking at it, I'm like, oh yeah, that's just what he does, isn't it?
Oh,
That's
yeah?
just what he
That's
do.
what he does. Yeah.
Yeah.
He does what he
He
do.
do be doing that.
Is there a dub for Steel Angel Kurumi?
Yeah, that was the dub. Like he
Okay.
did the dub, and it's pretty ridiculous.
Okay.
Is it readily available, that dub? No.
It is not. Gotta shell out the money for the box set, or I don't know,
Other
Dang.
things.
sail the seas. I don't know.
Yeah.
What?
What?
I
We don't
also
know.
have a Steel Angel Kurumi shelf. It starts right there.
Oh, well,
All the
if you've got
episodes.
it, then just send it on up here.
Yeah.
So that we can watch
I'll
it.
ship it to Jay.
If you
Yeah,
want to
we'll
watch,
watch
it,
it,
honestly, it might be cheaper for you just to borrow Jonathan's. Just reach out to him.
Yeah.
My phone number is.
Yeah. Here's my address. What do you guys say? Does anyone else have any last spooky thoughts before we dive
I
into
got
the mailbag?
one. I got one last one. It's called Hellsing Ultimate, and it is a fever dream, and it is worth the watch just for how insane it is. It's a lot of fun though. It is.
So good.
It is a lot of fun.
So
I need to watch that.
Mm-hmm.
It's good.
I know I'd
It's
like it.
what? It's 6 parts, and each part is like an hour.
10.
Yeah.
Is it 10 parts?
Mhm.
Yeah, it's 10 parts.
Oh,
That's right.
I didn't think there was that many.
It's each episode is one volume of the manga, I believe.
They're on. I know I watched them on Funimation. It must be on Crunchyroll now.
Probably.
It
If
might-
not, then it's like going to be
Might be.
ported there
It's on
very
one of
soon.
them. It's on one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely worth a watch. But yeah, it's spoopy, and it's spoopy season.